The Miami Dolphins met with multiple top defenders in the 2025 NFL draft. Should they use the 13th pick on one of those top defenders? We will discuss it in detail. Also, man, is the option now out there a great option for Chris Grier to fill the void? Kendall Fuller left. We will talk about all of that and so much more, including organizational grades came out, and Mike McDaniel and Stephen Ross, they graded highly for the second year in a row. But does it even matter at this point? We got a lot to discuss. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Let's get into this.
Touchdown! You have got to be kidding me. Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown. And he will score! Field on the near side, that open, touchdown! The run from Stewart, Tagovailoa. Touchdown! He's going deep. He's got it over the touchdown. He's in. Touchdown!
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go!
All right, huddle up, huddle up. We're gonna crank these engines up on one. All right, wait, 80, set. Drivers, start your engines.
This is the finish line.
I coached a great offensive lineman in the past. Larry Little, Dwight Stevenson, Jim Langer, all Hall of Famers, and Richmond Webb belongs to that same group.
Here are your hosts, legendary Miami Dolphins left tackle Richmond Webb, Reason, and Mr. Ballgame.
What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. Appreciate each and every one of you coming through. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. We are just under 17K, and then we are 3K away from hitting 20K. We'll be doing a multiple winner giveaway. So let's get those likes up. Let's get those subscribes up. Gentlemen, we're back after a brief hiatus. I had my birthday in Vegas. Y'all had some time off before that. How is everyone doing as the thick of the off season and the preseason is beginning up right now as Combine Week is upon us? We are about 2.5 weeks away from free agency. We are about a month and a half away from the draft. So how you guys feeling as the preseason starts to ramp up, Richmond?
Yeah, I feel good to answer your first question. Like you say, they got the combine and all that kind of stuff is jumping off, and the college players and stuff are meeting with different GMs and owners, and they're trying to figure out who they're gonna take, address needs, and so it's kind of busy, but it's a little slow for me. But looking forward to probably free agency starter. It'll probably pick up a little bit, but it's always kind of interesting. But other than that, I've just been taking it easy, and I hope you had a great time out in Vegas, for your birthday, and with you 25, 26 now, something like that. So
yeah, I will.
That's good. But yeah, just always good to get on here and chop it up with you and Mr. Ballgame. But no, other than that, I'm good. I'm finna get ready to. I started me some stuff in my garden, some seeds and stuff. I'm a little bit.
What are you
behind.
making? What do you got? What do you got coming up?
I did some. I always do like bell peppers, some collard greens, some kale, some cucumbers. I'm gonna do some okra and like some herbs, like some cilantro, basil, and some sage, little stuff like that. I might have a couple more. I think I got some tomatoes, but other than that, that's it. So I'm just chilling, just kind of chilling right now. How you doing, Mr. Ballgame?
I'm good, man. Life's good. I don't know. I should be excited, but I don't know. I don't know if the Dolphins gonna do what they're supposed to do, so I don't have no faith in them right now. So I just been using this time, really, man, spending it with my granddaughter, watching a little bit of, stuff that's happening here and there. Teron Armstead, if he does what they saying he gonna do, man, I have to give him a formal apology because that's something that you don't see players do nowadays. Give money back, but he'd be a real one for that. So. And I'll be the first to say it. I had some choice things to say about the man, but all in all, life's good, man. I understand the combine. I understand the purpose of it. I'm just ready for him to go and draft, get the season, get the actual ball rolling, or like you said, free agency to see if they actually make a splash to get some of the pieces that they need, and don't overspend, but do it wisely to ensure that they get some quality pieces to add to what we're trying to do. So, yeah, and I hope you had a blast out there in Vegas, bro. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it was okay. Man, it was. I hadn't been there. My wife hadn't been there for a while, like since before we met, and we've been together for like 12 years, and I hadn't been there since I was a kid. Like I went in like 92, 2 years after like Excalibur opened. So first of all, I went to Excalibur and I was like, oh look, 1992 still here.
92, I was in Iraq.
Yeah. But my wife was in Saudi Arabia. So she lived on
dodging water rounds.
Did you ever, when you're out there, you ever hear of Aramco?
Yeah.
She lived on the her dad was an engineer for Aramco. Her family lived on site at Aramco.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's where she grew up. So when the Gulf War happened, the sirens and everything would go on. Yeah. They would find the dud missiles out in the sand and stuff like that, all that kind of jazz. So anyways, dude, $13 for a can of Sprite out of the fridge in my Bellagio hotel room. Are you crazy?
I told you. You at the creme de la creme, though.
Well, hold on. So, bro, we get there, right? So we don't, because of the weather out there. The weather out here was crazy, bro. On the Friday, we got 12, 13 inches of snow. Then on the Thursday. Then on Saturday, we got another about 10, 11 inches. And so the weather was crazy. So we were supposed to fly out Sunday morning. We didn't fly out till Sunday night. We didn't get in till like 1 a.m. Vegas time, so 4 a.m. our time, right? Because 3 hours behind East.
Right.
And bro, so I sit down, I'm like, I'm starving. So I got this prime rib sandwich, and the prime rib sandwich with fries was only $26. I was like, okay, this isn't bad, right? Sprite $9. I was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, then we went like, holy jeez, bro.
Yeah.
Holy.
The mini fridge.
Yeah, it all started with the mini fridge, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah, it's different.
But it was phenomenal. Like we went to one of the top rated steakhouses out there for my birthday.
Yeah.
We saw that Michael Jackson show, the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson show.
Okay.
Michael Jackson's like my favorite artist ever. It was phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal. They had like dudes walking up the walls, and they had like the Thriller dance was, you already know the video. You already know Cirque du Soleil is going to do that over the top. It was phenomenal. So, but yeah, it was a good time. But bro, my wife, I said to her, yo, you are the most like controlled person with everything in life. But when it comes to those slot machines, she's like with a cat. She's like a cat with a ball of yarn, bro. It's crazy,
Hit it.
Bro, she found this game like Invaders of the Planet Moolah. And it's like you get like multiple chances and like it beams up like cows. It's like abduct cows and stuff like that. Bro, couldn't pull her away from it, dog. Bro, I'd go to the washroom. I'd come out. She's not waiting for me, bro. She's
gone.
feeding the moolah machine, bro. You
She
know,
had a
like,
good time. That's it. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
That's
talking
it.
about.
That's it, Rick. You got
Yeah,
it, Rick.
hey, I said to her though, the problem is you're walking through the casino. I could see a lot of single men, finding that problem. You don't know whether to compliment a woman or ask if she's a lady of the night. You know what I mean? It was crazy out there, bro. So, but yeah, it was a good time, man. But dog, 3 days.
Like too long?
Yeah, what do you do? Like we were there for 4 days. It was too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 days. 3 days is it? I don't.
Yeah,
I don't ever go to Vegas for more than 3 days in that point because I feel like after that third day I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
Yeah, bro. And what else is there to do?
And then I'm like this, focused, and then all of a sudden everything starts, and I'm like, oh hell,
dog. Even that sphere, bro.
Even my sons be like, man, Dad, what we doing today? Like, let's go, man. Let's get on the plane,
bro.
Get out of here.
This is the problem is you spend half of the day, you split the strip into two halves, right? So you finish it in 2 days, and then you gamble and you do your shows at night. By the third day, what do you have left to do in the day except go to shows or gamble more?
Go to the Hoover Dam.
Yeah. I mean, I went to the Grand Canyon too. I remember all that as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't need to go back. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. So yeah, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
That Hoover Dam is different. I saw that as a child, and then we went back as an adult, and I was like, this shit is crazy.
Really, eh?
Man.
You know what I did because I missed it? I just won. When I got home, I watched Vegas Vacation, and I watched. Remember the scene with the Hoover Dam? And he gets out there, and his cousin's always asking where the bait is because he wants to fish off the Hoover Dam. But yeah, man, it was a good time. That sphere, bro.
And they got them catfish down there, big as freaking Volkswagens.
If y'all get a chance to go check out that sphere, go check that out.
We're supposed to go out in July. I don't know why they plan this freaking 35th class reunion trip to Vegas, but it's gonna be hotter than freaking Satan's balls.
Oh yeah, it is.
I'm not looking forward to it at all. But my wife was like, "You gotta go. You the class president." And I was like, "Man, that's them folk, man. It's gonna be hot as hell."
Go to the sphere when you go down there, bro.
I gotta go, man. So yeah, gotta go sweat for a couple of days. Yeah. Way worse than sweating here in Florida. Oh yeah, and that was another thing too. That AC unit went out, bro. Damn thing wasn't even 3 years old. I think they sabotaged my unit, right? But you know what I'm saying.
So that was under warranty though.
It was under warranty, right? But it be that label that they be hitting you across the head with, bro. And yeah. So dude shot me a cool one, bro. So I'm gonna shout out Bayonet Plumbing and Heating, bro. They yeah.
He response to the channel, bro.
Yeah. He took. Yeah, I'm gonna have to holler at old boy, man. I just gave him a huge plug, but they took care of me, bro. Like we're talking $5,500, bro. Like, I wound up paying like $700 and some for a whole new unit. You know what I mean?
It's time for you to go to Vegas now. You got a little extra coin in your pocket.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't really like going unless I got about 10 to throw away.
That's a problem. Like, and see, for me, the reason why I only spent like $50-$60 on slots and I never play spots because if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play, I'm playing cards. I'm not playing.
Table guy.
I'm not playing, and I'm not gonna sit there and watch my wife.
She's gonna blackjack.
You spend $100 on a slot, you're done in 10 minutes if you ain't hitting.
Right.
So I'm not gonna sit here and make her watch me for hours at a table. And really, I would want to go play poker because that's my specialty. So she wouldn't even be able to watch me because I'd be go sitting at a different table, right?
If I'm being honest with you, I'm taking 10 because I'm gonna get her 5 to get the hell on.
Nah, bro. If you sit down at a poker table,
I'm gonna be there, man.
You need racks because these guys are just gonna squeeze you out.
Yeah, I don't play a lot of poker. I'm a crap guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna roll the shit out them dice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that
for sevens.
Yeah, man.
7, take me to heaven, baby.
Yeah.
Well, look at this guy. So now we know what Ballgame was. This man was playing dice on the street corners, rolling up, eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
You better know it.
All he needs is a folded up cardboard box and a brick wall and a paradise, baby, and he's good to go.
And you know, down here we play CeeLo too. So,
that's what I was just going to ask. Did you play CeeLo with the 3 dice, right?
3 dice, yes, sir.
Look at this guy. Oh man, corner of Lenox Ave and 40th over here. This guy on New York.
Hey,
Y'all remember Chappelle's show, the World Series of Dice?
bro?
Y'all remember that? Actually, Larry, when he blew that the shit.
You gonna like this though. The first time I ever threw dice was in Manhattan.
Really, eh?
Yep. I was 13. I was 12.
See, we didn't do that shit. We didn't do that stuff up here.
Yeah, with my cousins.
Yeah,
and I've been
I hung out
came
with some
home,
like Scarborough and stuff. They didn't throw dice up here. That's
hanging with my cousins in South Florida,
American
learning
thing.
CeeLo, right?
Yeah.
So it was easy transition, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's been my thing ever since.
Yeah, that's an American thing, bro. Like, it really is like a New York and West Coast, like especially New York, especially East Coast. Like that is a big time East Coast thing, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, dog. See out here in like Scarborough and Toronto, motherfuckers would just hang out behind the 7-Elevens and goon. They wouldn't like be rolling dice. Where like you go to New York, you got the goons and the dice players, and then you got a mixture of both, man.
We walking around. We walking around with a set of dice on ready, bro. I got a set in my truck just in case. Yeah, when I go to see my brother out in Apopka, that's all we do. Me and his homeboy down the street, man. I take about 500-600 with me, and
look at this guy.
Now, let's get it.
Now we know where Mr. Ballgame comes from, Mr. Banks, eh? AKA Tony 2 Dice. Oh, sorry, hold on. Tony 3 Dice.
Yeah.
Tony Trice Dice.
Well,
there you go.
Sure don't like to play. He don't like to play CeeLo, so we keep it with the 2. But
that's the other one too. Dominoes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, we going like way off the rails here now. Jeez. All right, so the combine, it started off today. I wanted to talk to you guys about this combine. Well, it didn't start off today, but like the testing, the first on-field testing will be tomorrow, but guys are interviewing at the podium and such. And a couple players were asked about it. Shemar Stewart, who really blew up the Senior Bowl, Texas. You should know who this man is, Richmond.
Yeah.
Shemar Stewart, Texas A&M defensive lineman, defensive tackle. Didn't have a ton of production in college, but the traits are absolutely crazy. You see the explosiveness, you see the power, you see it just he needs to be refined. This is a guy when this is why you want coaches like Anthony Weaver. This is why I want Deion Walker. You see the power, you see the usage, you see the age, but when they're raw and they need to be refined, you got to have coaches you trust. So Shemar Stewart was asked, he confirmed he's interviewed with the Miami Dolphins. He even said he was a Dolphin fan growing up. He said Jarvis Landry all the way. There was a couple other people that the Miami Dolphins met with. They met with Miami Hurricanes defensive end Tyler Barron. He could go on day 2 or day 3. But you look at it, they were meeting with some legitimate players here on defense with the Dolphins at number 13. Other guys who could be on the board are Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan, who I'm sure we'll find out the Miami Dolphins met with this week as well. Now, Walter Nolan may drop a little bit because of some character concerns. But another one they met with is a guy that I've tied to them. Patreons, channel members, they've been reading my updates for months, and a guy that I've been tying them to that I've been telling y'all they really like, he confirmed today that he's talked to the Miami Dolphins, and that would be Georgia edge rusher Michael Williams. I've been telling y'all for months that they're really high on this kid. So let's start with you, Ballgame. 13, Shemar Stewart. Now, a dream scenario I've stated openly for me is Will Johnson somehow falling. I think he's a top 5 player in this class. Somehow falling to us at 13 solves a big, big void that they have right now. And even if you find a corner in free agency, this allows you to play with Ramsey at safety a lot more. On the flip side, you got a guy like Kenneth Grant. Makes a ton of sense. They want to find a running partner with Sealer because you don't know if Calais Campbell. Shemar Stewart's much more of a project. I don't think Mason Graham falls to us. Walter Nolan, to me, is a top 50 player in this class, and he's a first. He got a first round grade for me. I don't care what his character concerns are. Where are you at 13 with drafting a defender for the Miami Dolphins? I know you're seeing that they're meeting with these defenders, and you're probably getting all percolated. this is the range where they found a guy like Christian Wilkins and a guy like Kenneth Grant who's going to test unbelievably at the combine. He could be sitting there. And remember, they took Wilkins over Dexter Lawrence because of that athleticism and that profile.
Right.
What do you think at 13 with taking a defender?
Well, first and foremost, I think that if they do their homework in free agency, you have the freedom to go defense and then give Wheeler a piece that he can build around for the future for his defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not at any point against taking the best player on the board, whether that be offense or defense. But if it is defense, then that fits and helps us get younger over on that side. And if the guys, you're taking them in the top 15, top 20, like we're picking at 13, he's definitely going to be a stud. So you just got to, it makes sense to fill the biggest void. I mean, the biggest need. And I think across the board, you could either go DT being one of the biggest needs or corner I like, but I think we can find some guys to be serviceable for the way Wheeler runs that defense, runs his defense. But what we can't deny is the need on the offensive side too for offense. So as long as they satisfy those requirements in free agency, and I think they'll be able to some degree, then I'm 100% on board with going defense because that's not normally what we do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You usually try to add something to give to the quarterback, but there's not much he needs in terms of weapons if Tyreek is not leaving. And we could always grab a tight end in the second or third round because you let Smythe go. And Jonnu, Jonnu could be a teacher for a young guy, so you don't really have a need there. It's just offensive line for me, cornerbacks, and DT. Those are the biggest. I think those are the biggest needs right now. And then, linebackers are serviceable because what the role we ask them to do a lot of times is not that huge, right? Especially with Brooks in the middle doing as much as he does. The other guys need to be able to complement, and I think if they can give some confidence, and maybe the other guys will be fine there. So I'm okay with it.
Now, there's certain guys I want there. I don't want them to reach. What do you think about taking a defender at 13 Richmond? A guy I really like, and I sent him over so you could give him a little bit of a look-see, is Armand Membo, the tackle from Missouri, who can play right guard and right tackle. Austin Jackson can't stay healthy, so he can start at right guard and kick out to right tackle when Jackson goes down. What are your thoughts on taking a defender when you yourself, an offensive line guy, has watched what this offensive line has been? What are your thoughts?
Well, just from what you brought up at first about the D line, and then Ballgame kind of expounded on that. I don't have a problem with going with D line, like Ballgame said. If the best player available, now if it's a receiver, something we don't need, maybe you trade down or something like that. But looking at is it Armand Membo? Yeah, he's a guy. He's got really good feet, uses his arms well, plays with leverage, and from the clips I saw, he's really, really aggressive. Didn't have an issue, reaching guys. This was in like a 7 or a 9 technique, and to be able to reach him and cut him off and stuff like that, that shows he's very athletic. So it would be almost like getting a polished Austin Jackson, and if you could put him, like you said, at right guard, if he can play, 2 positions, and if Austin goes down, you can move him out, and we got Patrick Paul on the other side. The other thing I thought about with them looking at all these D linemen is I thought back to the Super Bowl with Philadelphia, and if you can build your defensive line and offensive line the right way, I mean, when you can rush 4 people and get the kind of pressure they did without having to blitz not one single time, I mean that is a nightmare for an offensive coordinator, or it's a dream come true for a defensive coordinator. And then on the other side, like Philly's offensive line, if you can build something like that, or like Detroit, I mean, we like Ballgame said, we have all the pieces on the outside or the skill positions and stuff like that. I think this shows that they're actually listening, or Chris Greer understands he's got to fix, up front. If you don't fix up front, it's going to continue to happen. And the other thing is, it takes pressure off Chris Greer, because if you give Mike McDaniel what he needs, Coach Weaver, this and that. Now you can't say this. No, you provided Coach what he needs. It's his job to get the most out of him and to maximize that. So I'm loving what I hear. And I knew Shemar Stewart, he's from Dallas, went to A&M, and even Walter Nolan, he transferred from Ole Miss, but I've heard some character issues on him as well. But he was like the number one player coming out, I think, when he signed with Texas A&M. So
you know what?
Go ahead.
I don't even care about character issues, because they had the same thing to say about Michael Parsons, and look where he came.
Yeah, beast. Yeah.
They talked so bad about that kid, and now everybody and anybody in the NFL would love to have him on their team. Sometimes guys mature right in front of you, and it just takes a little time for them to get there. But when they're there, they show up and show out, and Michael's done that. So character issues for me, nah, I'm okay with it. Can he play football? That's the question. And Michael seems to be playing really good football.
So I'm gonna keep reminding people. People thought I was crazy. I said I would have traded Christian Wilkins and our first-round pick to move up and get Jalen Carter. People thought I was nuts. How right would I be right now? That guy gets away with the Deacon slap, bro. That thing's banned, and this guy's getting away with it. Tavondre Sweat wanted Tavondre Sweat. Character concerns. No one wanted to touch him. Look at him. No, man. With certain guys like Walter Nolan, like Mike Green and Walter Nolan, I've heard, because of the sexual assault stuff with Mike Green, and even though he's cleared of it, because it popped up twice, and the Walter Nolan off-field stuff, I've heard they might be in the second. They might fall to the second round. I have first-round grades on both those guys. I tallied out my first-round grades yesterday. I only have 15 first-round grades in this class. You're muted, Ballgame.
That makes sense. Like you said, if you can get a guy of that talent, and he falls to the second, it just makes sense. And a lot of times guys have character issues, not so much the guys. Sometimes it can be the coaching staff, something that's not disciplined enough to know how to manage these guys. If you start letting them get away with stuff, it's just going to spiral out of control. So I don't always look at the kids. Sometimes you got to look at the whole overall picture.
Yep.
And say, okay, yeah, they saying this, but how did you contribute to it or not contribute to it to try to, fix this issue? So, yeah, that's a great point you brought up, Reason.
Yeah.
Let me.
Carter's so violent, man. I love it. He's so violent. Big man is mean and nasty, and gonna keep giving it to you every play. Old school football, man. You gotta love it.
Yeah, you gotta love it, huh? So what I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts, Richmond? You went there. I feel like 13's too rich for Shemar because he's a little too raw. Are you agreeing? I don't have a first round grade on him. I have a second.
No. If he went on the second day, I don't have an issue. I'm just saying, I like the idea that they're looking at defensive guys, and just because this kind of started doesn't mean these are the guys we're looking at first round. I mean, like you said, if some of these guys are second day, and a lot of times you just have to tweak a few things. And what we were coming from Baltimore, they've always really done a good job of developing their defense or defensive guys. So I wouldn't have an issue taking him on the second. I'm not saying take him at 13. I'm just saying when you see a guy got the talent and you just got to tweak a few things, now you got a monster, and you got him at a good deal. So
I know he's gonna test off the charts, and so I don't think it'd be that 48. But man, if Will Johnson failed you and you got that stud of a corner, and then you got Nick Manawari somehow with your second pick, because Nick Manawari, he's going to be probably one of the best testing defenders all weekend. He's going to test off the charts, and I think he's going to bump himself up into the back end of the first round. I personally have a really high grade on Nick Manawari. And that's another thing at 13. I think Malachi Starks is a real possibility. Yeah. But I have a first round grade on Nick Manawari. So, and Kenneth Grant. So, you know what I want, boys? I want Jackson Dart, even though he's my guy. I want Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe to blow up the combine. So 4 quarterbacks can go in the top 10 and we can really push some talent down into our lap. Because, guys, another one that I've been telling people about, I warned people about Emeka Egbuka months ago and how much they might really like that kid if he's there at 13. Now there's talk that Tet McMillan might also drop to that range as well. And if you want to move off of Tyreek Hill,
that's a big boy too.
Other than Travis Hunter, exactly. You might have
boy.
That's what you want opposite of your speed. He's Drake London on steroids. That's what I tell people.
Yeah, that kid is.
So like I really wonder if they're gonna have options. I've just been adamant about it. I don't want a tight end. I'm sorry. Go take Jason Taylor's son in the 2nd round. Go take my boy Gunnar Helm in the 3rd or 4th if he's there. This is the deepest tight end class in decades. I don't want Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland at 13. I think taking a tight end, unless you're generational like Brock Bowers, which neither one of those guys are. Sorry, I'm not taking a tight end in the top 15. Sorry, you got to go for a draft pick, especially if 3 or 4 quarterbacks go before us and push down some legitimate talent here. I'm sorry, So
you have to think who's right ahead of us at 10, 11, and 12.
So who sucks if he's falling? If Will Johnson is falling, San Fran's probably going to snatch him because they're right in front of us. They're at 11, I think.
And they're going to lose. And old boy said he's not going back to California.
Charvarius Ward. Yeah, Charvarius Ward's leaving, right? So right in front of us are Chicago at 10, San Fran at 11, Dallas at 12. Dallas would take Tet or Ashton Jeanty, or Tet McMillan.
Dallas need a running back. I think they need a running back than they do. Wide receiver.
Ashton Jeanty makes they don't have a number 2 to CD.
Yeah, but they believe that you only need the number 1, and you can bring any guy in. So they probably grab a wide receiver later because they don't have any running back.
Tet's now being mocked. A lot of people are mocking Tet there now. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
And then Chicago needs everything. They probably need offensive linemen, right?
Yep. Yeah, they definitely need all.
I mean, they could use an Ashton Jeanty.
They need a quarterback too.
Caleb. The
number 2 quarterback was the best quarterback. I had said that. I told people that Caleb. I mean that
Badgett, Tyson Badgett, or whatever his name is.
No, I'm talking about freaking. No, I'm talking about between Jaden and Caleb. People argue down about that too.
I was not a fan of Caleb coming out.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm okay for you being passionate and whatnot, but you crying crying too. Soft, bro.
Let me we got enough of that right now. Let me ask you. The last thing we need is a guy who cries on the sideline. Holy fuck! They'll be running us out of. They'll be moving the team out of Miami. Listen, I wanted to ask you this ball game specifically. Kendall Fuller, he's gone.
Sucks.
Jaire Alexander, he has been given permission to basically seek a trade, and the Packers are open to moving him for the right price. Still 28.
I like it.
2-time Pro Bowler.
I think he still got enough in the tank too. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about that?
I like it. But then
if you're not stuck with taking a Benjamin Morrison or Siobhan Revel or a Jahdae Barron,
right?
If Will Johnson is gone, what do you think?
I like it. I don't have a problem with going with a proven veteran. They did the same thing with Fuller anyway. So I don't know. I think across the board, when you think about the difference in the 2 players, right? Alexander definitely probably a name that's going to flash a little more than Fuller. I love for what he did, but he just the health issue couldn't stay on the field long enough. But Jaire hasn't seemed to have those type of things. He getting dinged up a little bit. He's a little undersized, but he's a gritty dude, man. So to have him on the opposite side of Ramsey, or just have him as your guy that travels with the number 1, he's capable of being able to do that, and you get some flexibility with Ramsey, so he doesn't have to do it as much. And then it offers them an opportunity. Then at that point, with 2 guys like that as at the 1 and 1A spot, to go and take a chance on maybe a guy in the 3rd round, and then have him build him up, because you're still solid at your nickel with Kohu and they got Ethan Bonner and all these guys that they're gonna bring back. So you got enough bodies to throw in for different situations. But it's like a no-brainer, really. He's a true proven veteran, right? He's not a guy that you really got to worry about. You can just plug and play because he can play zone, he can play man, he can follow, he can do all of those things. So yeah, if they it just depends on what they want for him.
He's got no guaranteed money in 2025 and 2026, and 2027 is a void year on his deal, so he's going to need new money. That's number one. And it looks like it would make most sense to make him a post-June 1st trade for them because they would save $17 million and they'd take on about 7.8 dead cap.
Right.
But yeah, man, I mean, again, you make a move like that and financially it makes sense, then you're not worrying about taking a corner high in the draft.
Yeah, and the anticipated cap is actually less than what the actual cap number is going to be, right? Because they bumped that up significantly, right? So it was like 277 or something.
Yeah, the cap went up like 20 million.
20 million, yeah. So that, and then Teron Holt stated what he said, and they got what you can restructure. Who? Chubb. You can restructure. Who else you got that you can restructure? Chubb.
Tua saves 19 million. You could restructure Austin Jackson.
Okay.
You could restructure Zach Sealer or give him new money. One of the two.
Right. So
you could free up about $60 million in restructures pretty easily.
Yeah.
The one who I wouldn't touch is Austin Jackson. Because if I drafted a guy like Armand Membo, I would kick him at right guard, and then when Jackson goes down, I'd kick him out to right tackle. If he proves he could be the answer at right tackle, I can get out of Austin Jackson's deal after 2026. So why would I pay him money? So I wouldn't keep restructuring him. I would keep Membo at right guard, keep Jackson at right tackle, find the successor at right guard to Membo when I kick him out at right tackle, and then after 2026, get rid of Jackson, kick Membo out, slide that right guard in, and all of a sudden I can keep it rolling, baby.
So are we in agreement for free agency for left guard spot?
I think it sounded like from yesterday they're going to double up in free agency in the draft. I've heard personally they're very interested in Will Hernandez. Will Freeze is another name that I've heard.
Big boy Wilford. That joke
Will
is
Hernandez,
humongous, man.
Yeah,
the cat that was with the Giants.
Yeah. I think they're
massive.
Tevin Jenkins they're going to look at. James Daniels, I've known they've been interested in since last offseason. So I think they're going to spend some money.
I do like Daniels. Hernandez, that dude is humongous, bro.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He can move too.
Yeah. Because they want to run more power in inside zone. That's why, right? So they're looking for more. They're looking for more beef on the inside.
So we're moving away from the wide zone now to more power.
No, they're going to keep. Well, you look at what. Okay, look at what McVay did. McVay kept the outside zone, but he's just incorporated a lot more inside and power. Yeah, you're trying to find the balance in the pass and run game, but now you got to find the balance between the outside zone and the inside power gap. Now that's where they're at.
Okay.
And you can't do it with Jones and Eichenberg.
That's true.
Right? Because you got to ask these guys to be powerful and work in a booth, but then we need you to work in space too. You need to be able to do both, right? We need powerful guys powerful guys with nastiness that can move. That's what we need.
Man,
and I think another one that makes sense if they can get him at the right price is Aaron Banks.
I like
because
Kevin.
He just left San Francisco. He was there when McDaniel was there.
Understands the scheme.
Cheap option. And this is how you're going to get.
I didn't realize all those guys were going to be available. Well, that's crazy, man. That's a lot of beef.
Go look at the guard. The guard is actually like.
Ooh.
Yeah. They got to get the run game going, bro. People are going to spin it. Oh, this is just Tua needs this, Tua needs that. No, the run game. They know. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You need to protect them, and you also need to give them a run game and support them. That's the problem.
Would you be looking for a bigger back? I know we got A-Chain and right.
I got a big update coming. I'll tell you guys backstage what happened. I got an update coming to Patreon in 3 takes.
Okay.
I know some inside stuff about that.
Backstage, I got you, brother.
You know?
Okay.
So, but yeah. So, I think right now the focus is the offensive line.
I love that.
Alf made a great point. Go get a cheap guy in free agency. Elijah Mitchell. McDaniel was there when they drafted him, right? He just hasn't been able to stay healthy in San Fran. But he's what McDaniel likes. Elijah Mitchell makes a ton of sense. They'll get him for cheap. Like, you know why they're going to want Will Hernandez and some of these guards, like James Daniels? Because they have injury history. So they think they're going to get him for the right price and that they'll potentially outplay the price that they get. Like, you know what I do at safety, Ballgame? You know what I do at safety? Let Javon Holland walk. You've got Patrick and Morris, right?
Yep.
This is what I would do. Justin Simmons ain't getting paid. How much did he make last year? What, $7 million?
Yeah, about 7 or 8 million.
Go get Jeremy Chin and Justin Simmons for the price you would pay for either Justin Reed or Javon Holland. You could probably go get two of those guys for 16, 17 million combined. And then, yeah, this safety class is top heavy. Like, you want Watts, Makuba, Winston, if you aren't getting those top two guys in Amanawari and Starks. But then you're not pressed if you do miss out on a Makuba because he tests well, or you miss out on a Watts. Okay, I've got Patrick McMorris. I still got Elijah Campbell in the room, and I've added Justin Simmons and Jeremy Chin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a guy that I think they're going to show interest in, because me and Neil reported last offseason that they were having trade talks surrounding him, is Jonathan Allen. And he's been given the right to look for a trade. But the word I'm hearing is he's actually going to be cut. And he's going to be a free agent. Yeah, he's going to be a free agent.
Love him. Listen, him.
I know people want the offensive line, right? If I could get Dre Greenlaw and Jonathan Allen added to this offense, and then I add one of those guards, then I just go guard heavy in the draft. I find two guards. I find one in the first 3 rounds, and then I find one through 5 and 6 and add them there, or 4 if the right guy falls. I would do that. Because I think this defense is only a few pieces away from being like, holy Jesus. And if you add Jonathan Allen to Zach Sealer and you add Dre Greenlaw to Jordan Brooks, all you got to do is figure out that safety room, add another corner, and we got a scary situation on our hands for opposing offenses, man.
Yeah.
It's a weak safety class, too. That's why I'm high on getting a Jeremy Chin and getting 2 cheap vets for the cost of one of those big young guys. Justin Reed's won championships. He's going to command money. Javon Holland's the top safety on the market. Go get me Justin Simmons and another guy like Jeremy Chin at a good price, and let's roll, baby. I wouldn't mind if they spent, you came away with a Will Hernandez, but you added Dre Greenlaw, Jonathan Allen, and then, Justin Simmons and Jeremy Chin type of vets at good deals in safety room, and we can just go finish that offensive line in the draft. I'm down, man. I'm down. There's so many ways this can go, right?
Because then, Will got.
Imagine if you added Dre Greenlaw and you added Jonathan Allen, then the board falls your way and Will Johnson's there at 13.
It's done.
And then your board falls away again. You can get Nick Amanawari or like an Andrew Makuba and add him to the safety room. Holy jeez, man. I think Gray Zabel will be gone by 48. I think a lot of teams are going to look at viewing him as maybe kicking him into center too. So I think that's going to, this is a very weak center class. Beside like Jared Wilson from Georgia and a few others like, Jake Majors and stuff. It's really not a great center class. So I think Zabel is a guy who play both. Who?
Nick Bolton.
Yeah, but I think too much money. I think too much money. And I think Dre Greenlaw.
24 years old, though.
I know. He's gonna be a top paid linebacker. That championship pedigree. Bro, that's what I wanted to draft. Then the next year I wanted Leo Chanel. They took Channing Tindall. Very next pick, Leo Chanel. Jesus. Oh my God. Yeah. Gotta watch these guys win championships while Channing Tindall can't even get on the field for reps. Oh, what a kick in the nuts.
That's crazy.
All right. So I don't know if you guys saw it, but I'm gonna show it here for everyone. Those organizational grades from the NFLPA.
Go get Hufanga.
Yeah, from San Fran.
From San Fran.
Yeah, he's gonna probably make like 12 or 14 a year. That's what I'm saying. Though, I think you could get Jeremy Chin for like 7 or 8, and I think you could get Justin Simmons for like 7 or 8. You know, so the Miami Dolphins report card came out, and check this. The Dolphins retained their crown as the top-ranked team. All right, in the 2025 report card, owner Stephen Ross is once again the highest-graded owner, and the team is ranked number 1 in 7 of 11 evaluated categories. The quality of the facilities is matched by the quality of the people in the building, making for an extremely positive player experience. The team has also renovated the game day locker room at Hard Rock Stadium. The stadium locker room is not an area evaluated in these surveys, but this is another example of how committed the team is to providing an excellent player experience. So here you go. Treatment of families, graded an A. They ranked 3rd. Food, A+. They ranked 1st. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I got to eat there now. Nutritionist, A+. They ranked 2nd. Locker room, they ranked 4th, A+. Training room, 1st, and A. Training staff, 1st and A. That was 1st last year too, I think. Weight room and A+ was the 1st. Strength coaches, A+ was the 1st. Team travel, A+ was the 1st. Head coach was ranked 6th. He was an A+. And ownership was A+, a 1st. Now with the head coach, check this out. 98% of the players feel their head coach, Mike McDaniel, is efficient with their time, a rank of 7 out of 32. The players feel that Mike McDaniel is highly receptive to locker room feedback on the team's needs, ranking him 4th out of 32 in the league. I want to know who the 2% are.
2% are.
Hi, Tyreek.
Yeah.
Ownership. Stephen Ross's average rating for perceived willingness to invest in the facilities is a 9.88 out of 10 from Dolphins players, ranking 1 out of 32. The players feel that Ross significantly contributes to a positive team culture, ranked 1st out of 32. The players feel that Ross is extremely committed to building a competitive team, a rank of 1 out of 32. Gentlemen, does this mean anything more than the internet paper it's written up on to you guys? I think, we've heard, are you guys, okay, let me ask you this. Are you guys a little bit surprised with the feedback and the ranking of Mike McDaniel, given what Tyreek, how the season ended, how the season went, et cetera, or do you guys look at this as adding more validity to Stephen Ross keeping Mike McDaniel around? I wish they'd do one for Chris Greer. What are your thoughts, and how do you perceive this feedback? We'll start with you, Richmond.
For me, it carries some weight, but not a lot. I think most of the time, if you're you don't have to be first, but I think if you're in the top 6 or 7 teams, you're doing it right, a good experience and this and that. The thing that I was more excited about is some of the changes they're talking about doing with when you told me they're talking about running inside and power eye and getting some big boys up front. That's a different attitude. That, to me, that sounds of a more physical team. I think we've always had the ability to stretch the field with the speed and stuff like that. But if you can hit people with speed and then turn around and have a counter where you got power, you can hit them with it, or you're in situations where you say, okay, some people call it a 4-minute offense or whatever, but if you got to get the ball and say, we're not going to give them an opportunity to get the ball back, and you can march down the field and drive, even if you just got to kick a field goal or just eat up the clock, I'm loving that. It keeps your defense off the field. I don't need to score, 70 yards every other play. We need to move the chains, kill the time of possession, and put pressure on other teams. But I think Dolphins are trying to do it the right way. I think the thing now is, hearing the things that you brought up tonight, and then with them focusing on the interior, whether it's offense, sounds like it's defensive line and offensive line. I think they know what they need to fix, and if they fix it, and the way you were, coming up with the different scenarios that man, this thing can get turned around quick, and it'll be a real happy fan base. I think the thing is, don't get the right players and then don't utilize them or get the max out of them. I think that would be the next question. But everything I heard tonight as far as that was more impressive to me than saying, oh, we're the number one team as far as players happy. I think players are going to be happy, but I think they're happy if they're winning and competing, going to the playoffs. I think that's more important than just saying, oh, we're the happiest, so this is the best workplace in the league, because it's probably not much difference in the top 7 or 8 teams. But you want that, but you want to also be competing for a championship, and that's what's more important to me.
What do you think, Ballgame?
I think all that stuff is cool, but at the end of the day, if it ain't being measured out on the football field and wins, then it really don't matter to those that know really what you're looking at. Everybody want a good environment to work in, but and Mike can be a great guy, but that doesn't answer the question of whether or not he's still the man for the job. You know what I mean? Like, they can be the most likable guy, but if he can't coach these guys in the toughest times and they need their coach to be their coach, then none of that matters. And Ross can throw as much money as he wants at, you know what I'm saying, making a place Disneyland for all I care. The fact of the matter is that if they ain't getting W's on the field, then all you doing is just basically throwing, you know what I'm saying, throwing money down a hole. You know what I mean? And just hoping for something different to shake out. They gotta get back to the basics, man. That's what it comes down to. Kansas City gonna be where they are every year because they play football.
Yeah.
Dolphins gotta commit to playing football, and if you really gonna do what you say you're gonna do, then go ahead and get you some big boys to really put up front. You go ahead and tell the fan base sorry for letting Robert Hunt go, because then you would only need about one to fulfill that, because that dude was exactly what you needed, and he was the guy you should have built around. You know, and then that would tell everybody, that would send a message loud and clear through the league that you are committed to playing football.
Yeah.
Real football, not this finesse stuff.
Football. Hey, real football you speak of, eh? Did you see what Fitzpatrick said about the grades? Ryan Fitzpatrick? This is what Ryan Fitzpatrick decided to say about the grades. Let me bring that in so y'all can see it real close here.
They probably say it's something slick too.
Vic Fangio was also too mean. Good thing they got him out of there.
Vic Fangio was also...
That's what he said in reply to the grades. That's literally what he said in reply to the grades.
Wow.
So hey, shout out.
It's a mic drop there.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, any final thoughts you guys want to have before we get out of here?
Man, that's a cold-blooded statement, man. You just gonna drop the mic like that, bro? Like, really?
but you know what?
It's
it's coming from. I mean, it was sarcastic, but I think he understands that.
Soft.
We and I'm not saying Weaver's not a great coach, but it just validated that to me that Vic Fangio wasn't a problem, because you saw what he did. He got to Philly and this and that, but
and they turned up.
Yeah, and now you gotta become a more physical football. I mean, I'm based on what Reason came up with tonight. I feel much more optimistic. I think we just got to follow through with the plan and not let that be lip service, but go out and get some of these guys and really truly commit to saying, yeah, we got the speed, we got all these guys, but we're gonna hit you in the mouth every now and then, and this and that, and
it's not like
everybody, like you say, would you call it real football?
Yeah. Shout out to Greg. He said, just want to say thank you, Reason, for the great content, keeping us up to date. Always a great show with Ballgame involved. Keep shining, Mr. Webb. Thank you for protecting, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback to play the game. The Hall of Fame needs you in it.
Thank you.
Man, hey, I saw something, bro. It brought a tear to my eye, too, though. Right? Richmond, your time coming. We all know that. It should have been happened. But, damn, bro, to see them finally call Sterling, bro, that really did something to me, man. I'm happy for him, bro. Because that dude, if you go back and watch the footage of Sterling Sharp, boy, that dude was unreal.
Yeah, he was a real deal. Good brother. Good brother, too. Yeah, good brother. Yeah.
All right, guys, do us a favor. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you are new. I'll be back tomorrow with Neil. On-field testing starts tomorrow at the Combine. It starts with the measurements and on-field workout of the punters, kickers, defensive linemen, and linebackers. So it starts tomorrow. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. We'll catch you on the next one. Until then, you know what time it is. Fins up all day, every day. Have a fantastic evening, everyone.